even remember my dad being with my mum.
Right.
So for this white man to come in my house and be with my mum, I just want having it. I used to jump in my mum's bed and all that. I'd sleep with my mum. He'd have to get in my bed.
Would you?
Yeah.
At fucking 90?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't care. I didn't like him.
Barrie, will you smoke outside? Is that all right?
Yeah. But, you know, it's like when I hear about talking about the outcast and all that, some of them, you know what I mean, have really, really hard lives. I had some bad things happen to me, but didn't affect me till I was a lot older, and I had a mental breakdown because of it. And they said...
Did you? What do you mean?
Yeah, I had a proper mental breakdown, mate.
How old was you?
32, was I 32?
No, it was after I met you, wasn't it?
32 then. 33.
So about 33, 34.
33, 34. Yeah, and they said, that's when they told me mum and that a lot of it, a breakdown, she's come through life, right, and just not bothered about anything that's this, so she just come. And what happened to me, I went to the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
And it was the first holiday I'd ever had without my children.
Okay.
And I went with my mum. And I went on this trip where you go on this desert island, but my mum didn't want to come. So I ended up going. So they take you and you've got a big picnic basket, you can swim, and then they come and get you later on.
Okay.
So it's the first time that I'd ever been on my own to think about me. Because, you know, I didn't have a good marriage. I don't really, you know what I mean, want to go into that. But it was the first time I could think about me. So when I've come home, I've absolutely don't even know who my kids are, don't even know who my mum is. I end up in Park House for 6 months.
Fucking hell, around. What
6 months.
How does that feel? What?
6 months. Painful, really. But when like psychiatrists and all that said to me, mum, when they broke me down, they said she's come through all the knocks in her life, of prejudice as a kid, as being a battered wife.
Yeah.
And she's never folded. She's come through it. And you didn't do her any favours because you made her stick out more, even though you thought you was doing the best for your kid. She was already sticking out because she was black.
Yeah.
You made her stick out more because she had everything. I had the biggest crinoline dress and, do you know what I mean, and all that. So all that mental pressure all them years, and like I say, I'm big, I'm bubbly, and I used to be really big. I used to be 17 and a half stone.
Wow.
Big, bubbly, I'm cooking for 25 of you. If somebody needed something, I'd be running, I'd be doing it. And I was manic like that, and I broke, and then 6 months I was in there, and all I can explain it was like a big chair had got me and up me, and I felt safe. When I was poor there, I felt safe. And then as months went on and I was getting better and I was getting counselling, I started looking around where I was, and I was getting scared then because I wanted out then, because it wasn't that comfy chair anymore, it's reality where I was.
Yeah.
But when you're that sick, it was like a big comfy chair up in me. And not a lot of people will probably be shocked listening to that, because not a lot of people can look at me. Barrie was shocked when I told him, because I met Barrie 30 odd years ago. I had a little fling with him and met up with him only 2 years ago, and there we are.
Wow. Bloody hell, your family's good at love, man. Go on, you know these like stories.
Yeah, but he didn't know. He said if someone would have told me you'd had a breakdown, I would have said no. Never, not you. But I did. I'm not ashamed of it. I did it and I come through it. And I'm a better person for it. And I ended up working then with mental health and that, and, you know, doing groups and getting funding for a bipolar group, and, you know.
No, you've got to look at your own truth. I had it about 4 years ago. I didn't have a breakdown or nothing as such, but I've definitely had a lot of psychotherapy recently. Yeah. You know, over the last 4 years, and just like, I'm just looking at it.
Yeah.
It's too long to go into the story, but just like one day, just thinking there's something fucking wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I want to know what it is.
And it's like, you know,
do you think that's a trait? I'll tell you why I've said that. Right. When I was 13, I got sent to a child psychiatrist.
Yeah. Paul was going on about the other day as well. Go on.
In Yew Tree Lane.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd broken into some shops right, and got caught, right. So we sent me to see this child psychiatrist and magistrate. But he didn't do anything for me at all. He said, I always what he said to me, I want you to thread these beads, right, in the order that I've done them.
Yeah.
And I thought, why did you ask me to do that? Simple. So I've done it. Right. Never asked me to draw anything. Right. And that's all I remember, those beads. And I walked out of there and never went back again.
Who sent you there?
The court.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said that, didn't you? Yeah.
And I said to him, I'm not going back there again. He said he wants me to thread beads. Right. So I never went back.
Well, you began with there's keys on the back of that door if you want to take them with you, Ray. There's you began with, do you think that's a trait of being?
Yeah, because
yeah.
I think somewhere in our makeup,
yeah,
right, there's an imbalance.
Yeah, go on, keep going. I'm
right.
interested.
Because a lot of the mixed race lads that I know, right, have had violence in their lives, in one form or another.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of us of my generation, right, have spent time in jail.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe that's because we had no role models to look up to. You know, like if you aspire to be a fireman, right, for example.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Didn't know any black firemen.
Or half-caste firemen.
Or black even.
Yeah, yeah.
Like police. You'd never be
Yeah.
a policeman because there's no black
No,
policeman.
not that. You would now, but definitely
but
not then. No,
So
absolutely not. Not even a butcher.
No.
I can't even think of a black butcher
No.
then.
So, you know, footballer.
There was a
Right,
few, but not many.
No,
and they were getting shit in the game as well.
But you know, didn't hear much of them. Like, I think
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, I played for Leeds. Right. I was very good at rugby and I played for Manchester at rugby. Right. But I didn't know any black rugby players.
No,
right.
Even less rugby players than football players.
Yeah. So, you know, who do I follow? My dad never took me to any rugby matches because he didn't understand it.
Yeah.
He just went to work and, you know, I went off to rugby on my own. Like nowadays, you take your kids, don't you? And
yeah.
Go and encourage them. There was none of that, right? So I was playing for Tock Age at 15 with fellas who were, to me, they were fellas who were in the late 20s,
yeah,
30s, right? But it was like on my own. So I come home and I say like, oh, a great game. Right. But nothing more, no encouragement.
Paul was talking about the same thing the other day, you know, that he goes to football. But also I was talking to someone today that went to the Reno, I don't know if you remember her, Caroline Danks.
No.
Right. But she's white. And she, like, you know, I said that really strange. But she was talking on her interview about her psychotherapy as well. And it also happening in later life. So that's an odd thing today to be, you know, talking about psychotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
4 different people. There's, you know, Caroline today, Lorraine, you, me, but she's white. I think it's to do with poverty as well.
Could be, because, well, we didn't know or understand it as poverty, because
everyone
around us was the same.
Yeah.
You know.
But there again, Lorraine wasn't poor.
No.
So I don't know.
She wasn't poor, but she came from a poor area, didn't she?
Yeah.
Right, and you know, they had in a household, she had a lot of siblings in the household. You know, so although Bubbles was given everything by mum and dad, the environment she was in was relatively poor.
Yeah.
But you know,
I felt protected by all the lads, so.
We didn't.
Yeah, I bet you did.
We didn't see poverty
more than the white girls did. All my friends, you know what I mean? Because any trouble, they'd come to me first to get me out, you know what I mean? Leave them lot. Come on.
Oh no, but you were their proper friend. When they talk about you in here or over the years and I've heard your name, you're their friend. They're real, like one of the lads.
Yeah, because I used to like stay at my mum's house all the time. And if one of them got kicked out, I'd say you can stay 5 days because she works 5 days.
Oh.
And then I don't know what you're going to do for the other 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, that generation was apart from us. You know, we'd grown up and started our family by the time they started to come and see.
No, it's right. How much older are you?
8 years.
8 years. Yeah, so definitely if he's 20 or 12.
Yeah, because when we used to go in there and see Chips and all them lot,
Yeah.
say probably I seen Barrie and didn't know who he was, we used to like keep away from all them lot because we was all the young guns who used to have the DJ box and all that, you know what I mean?
There was all pockets in the Reno,
we was always near the DJ box
pockets
on the other side of the bar.
Right.
That's where we all used to go.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, went in the toilet. Oh, well, that toilet in the Reno, one toilet for all
with the cracks.
And you had to take somebody in the toilet to hold the door because otherwise.
And if you had an argument with someone, right? If there's some scene with someone, the fight always ended up in the fucking toilet.
In the toilet.
You know, there's that much room, so you're definitely having to fight. There's no way out. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like Steve Adams and all them lot. They was older than us.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know what I mean? They used to like scare me because I think, you know, because you see them with loads of women.
Bob Cottier said that.
Yeah, and drinking champagne and, you know, Chips drinking champagne and all that, and saying to us, oh, don't be with them breeds over there. They'll have you on the street before you know it. You know, and I think, oh, God.
They'll be friends from time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it was good. It was good when Mike Macy's first done the Reno reunion, and to see a lot of them because I'd not seen them for time. Yeah, I mean, I keep in touch with Ozzy and them close to me and all that, but I've not seen a lot of them. Yeah. And like a lot of them died, Paul Clay, Joey, and Tony Cole went on drugs. It absolutely floored me because Tony was more together than anybody I know. You know, he was the quiet one of the group, Tony.
Yeah.
Really quiet spoken and, you know what I mean? And when we used to go, like, I heard Tommy saying to you, we used to go to Bolton on a Sunday and we used to get the train. And when they all used to rob the train in Bolton because it was a post office thing.
Yeah.
So they'd done it for weeks. And then we comes into Victoria, and as we got into Victoria, police are lining both sides, so we're throwing all the stuff that they dropped out of the things because they surrounded the train. Oh, funny days then, though.
No, funny.
But Tommy was, I used to say, I'm not, even though my skin's black, I don't feel nothing. I never ate curry or nothing till I was in my teens. You know what I mean? Jamaican food, nothing like that. I never ate nothing like that until then. I ate English food because my nana was the cook and that's what I ate.
Yeah, I did mostly. Even though my dad was around. My dad worked all week.
And because I was like this different child, and my nana was 50 when she took me up, so I wasn't allowed to boil a kettle till I was 14 in case I burnt myself.
Wow. So you've had a really protected life, haven't you?
Too much.
Yeah.
They did that with me.
Yeah.
And as time went on, and when I got a boyfriend, I couldn't believe the prejudice with my mum's brothers.
Okay.
What are you doing? You can't go with him. You can't go with a nigger. Thinking, well, you're not a nigger. I'm thinking, but I am. You know?
So you've had a right confused time.
I hated them then.
Yeah.
All that love they give me all my life.
Yeah.
Once I got out and mixed and knew what prejudice was then, it jumped up like I say and hit me in the face. I hated them. I didn't want to be around them. I didn't want to be nowhere near none of them. It was weird. But like I say, I never really had a black friend. Ellen McClardy come along later, and like Monica come along later. But my true friends who I've been friends with since 13 is Linda Morgan, Jean Eden, Stella, all white. And my school picture, I'm the only one. And you can tell, I've got a school picture that somebody put on of me the other week, and I must have been about 6. And you can see it's a poor area, and all the kids, like, they've got a basin cut, the uniform, the clothes are all, and I'm pristine with a little Peter Pan collar and stuck out like on the picture, like a sore finger.
In every way, the colour of your skin, the cleanliness.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Every single way I did.
That's a lot to put up with, really, isn't it?
And I had bad psoriasis all my life. I've only been free from psoriasis for 4 years, and I'm 59.
And what made you free?
And I've tried everything. My friend went to Jamaica, and she brought me some pure coconut oil.
I've heard great things about coconut oil.
No, but pure from Jamaica. Yeah. And a big jar like that. And every night I covered myself in it. And I've had everything. My mum's paid for specialists. My dad took me, said, it's a white man's disease, calling me man.
Oh, right. Yeah, they love to throw that on each other, don't they?
Took me to St. John Street.
Oh, my God.
Paid 25 guineas
to
take me. And the specialist rolled his sleeves up. He said, if I could cure that, look at me. There's no cure, here's your money back. There's no cure. It's the nerves. She's worrying, she's stressed over that. But then 5 years ago, I used this cream. Because I still have a stress head, me, aren't I, really? And it went. And I've never been free
because
from
there's
it.
Nothing, I can't see nothing at all. Because it's usually on your hands, isn't it?
I was covered in it. You see, if you see them dark patches there on my skin, that's where it's been. When you first met me 30 odd years ago,
I was full of it.
I was full of it. Full of it. And that I used to think, oh, I can't go with no one else because they'll think it's dirty. Because psoriasis wasn't talked about in them days. And how I got friends with Linda Morgan, you're going to laugh now, was in Gorton Youth Club. And she was in there, and her sister, Margaret, God rest her soul, she was a right tough nut. And we was a bit scared of him, and she come talking to me, and she come in the toilet, and I pulled my sleeves up like that. She went, you've got psoriasis. No, I've never heard anybody. She dragged me to a man. Look, she's got scabs like me. Me and her got friends because of that, because she had psoriasis, and I had it. It was mad. It was absolutely mad.
No, but that says loads about everything that we're talking about, though, doesn't it? About, having something in common. Yeah. Even if it's psoriasis, it gives you someone to
And she was white.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my mum, my dad, that was a white man's disease. You're dirty. You've been having a dirty. And he blamed my mum. Forgot measles, she'd kick off at my mum. My dad, because that's how he was. He just, because he was so cleanly and never had nothing. If I got anything, it was my mum's fault.
So he knew she loved him to carry on like that?
All the time.
He knew that?
He knew.
He wouldn't dare.
And then I didn't find out till a few years before he did die. Then when she started opening up to me, she went missing.
Oh.
And her husband phoned me, because she married this white guy after all.
Yeah.
Is she at your house? Why I said it? Something just hit me. I went, she's asleep, why? No way was she. I got in my car and I drove to my dad's. And he opened the door, I went, where is she? And she was sat on the sofa.
Oh.
And I just knew she was there. I just knew that's who she'd gone to was him. Because he lived in Altrincham and she lived in Wythenshawe. I lived on the other side of town. So her husband thought she'd come to me. No, she hadn't. She'd come to him. And when she was dying, because she died in my arms, my mum, I said to her, because they said a bowel burst, she had cancer.
Yeah.
And they said 24 hours, but it was Jermaine's birthday. She said, I'm not dying on my grandson's birthday.
Right.
She died at 3 o'clock in the morning and she was in my arms there. And I went, my dad's there, go on. And she went like that.
All right.
She did. She only lasted 9 months after it. But she didn't go to his funeral yet.
Did she not?
No, she didn't.
Why?
She was going till the day. So when I get to the church and I'm looking for my mum, no way. She was in bed. She couldn't go.
Oh.
She couldn't go. She couldn't go to that funeral. So, and it was weird when she met Barrie. It was everything my mum was against, because my mum didn't like drugs at any cost. None. She'd phone the police on you, she'd see me smoke a weed.
Yeah.
He smoked a weed like cigarettes at the time. Yeah. And he was a roll, do you know what I mean? Prison, blah, blah.
Oh, right.
Right. But she absolutely adored him. And she's like, I will buy you an house if you leave your husband for him. Because she knew what life I had with him. I'll buy you an house. I'll buy you an house. He's a rough diamond, Barrie. He's a good man. I said to him when me and him got back together a couple of years ago, she'll be happy in heaven now that we're back together. Because that's all she wanted. Didn't she?
No one told me mine was in jail.
Yeah, but I disappeared. Didn't I?
What a saga! It's a full fucking saga.
That was strange, wasn't it, how we met? That was really strange.
Why? Go on.
Well, she was a barmaid in the Cock of the North, which was the local in Wythenshawe.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I've walked in. See her. Hello, where are you from? Beswick. You're nice. Right. sat down. She's gone outside. Did you go outside for pots, was it?
Yeah.
So come out, I got out, just planted one on her lips.
I'm absolutely, because he's a big man to me. I'm 20 odd.
Oh yeah, of
He's
course.
30.
The 8 years is big then.
Yeah. So I walked back in the pub. I thought he's just kissing me.
Fucking hell, I didn't think Barrie was a cheeky
It
man.
was.
I'm just saying, thinking he's a nice man.
I thought,
Oh, not that
oh.
I am now.
And then that was that. But then I heard that he died. Right? So, because he had these heart attacks, so you know how the rumours go round.
Okay.
So we're now years later, and I'm on Facebook, and one of my friends who live in Bessick is called Rose. Rose used to go to school with Barrie, but I don't know this. She's a white woman. So I've put a picture on her Facebook. So underneath, he's wrote, "Oh my God, the smile lights up your face. You've never changed." So I thought, I've pressed on it, and I've said, I phoned Linda. I went, it might be his son.
Yeah.
So I thought, it might. So I've had to inbox him then, and then that was like.
So, but you think he's dead now, so and then, now you've got this man.
Yeah.
Can I?
And then I'm talking to him, and it's just, he said, "Where did you disappear to all them years ago?" So I said, "You was not about with that young bird anyway, that Liz." He went, "I've got 3 kids too." I went, "What?" I shut up now.
Wow. Wow.
But we've passed each other like that. He moved to ABA, and I used to do karaoke for years. I did it in town, DJing and that.
Yeah.
I've got all the old tunes me DJing. And there's his street. I was DJing at that pub for years when he lived there. He'd never seen that. Did you?
Yeah,
we've just gone like that.
So you met at the right moment though now when you both
at a funeral. At a
funeral.
At Percy's from Wythenshawe.
Right.
Well, it's good that I have met now because
we wouldn't have lasted.
Yeah.
I was too wild. I was out there. Just mad. You know, everyone thinks I'm this nice guy.
I did, Barrie. I did.
Womaniser man as well.
No.
Yeah, he did. Barrie 10 birds. No, I'm not joking. So he can't sit there. Yeah, but don't be.
No, but there you go. No, so it's a good job.
I couldn't have put up with it.
Yeah, no, you just lived the life that your mum lived.
Yeah, no way could I.
Yeah,
no.
I was all over. Like, you get to an age, don't you, where you just find yourself.
Yeah. It happened to me with drink and weed and everything. I got about 50 and I thought, well, can't be arsed. I can't be arsed being hungover. Do you know what I mean?
I stopped the weed when I was about 40, 45.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think I was about that age.
I didn't nothing out of this anymore.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't a buzz anymore. Because most of the things I did were for a buzz.
Yeah.
You know, even the theft was a buzz. It's for excitement.
Yeah.
Right. The fighting was for a buzz. Right. You know. So once the buzz is gone, right, what's the point of doing it anymore? Right.
I have an odd weed now and then. But...
all the money I made through whatever, right, just wasted, really.
Yeah, you do.
Come easy go.
You do.
Rounds of champagne and all that, you know, being a big animal.
You could leave a job though, couldn't you, on a Friday and get another one on Monday?
Yeah.
In our day, couldn't
you? No, absolutely. Yeah.
You well could.
Yeah, it was mad times.
Wasn't it?
Mad times. Really? You know, because like I said, she said she disappeared, right? So I got to jail by this time, so I don't know anything that's going on between her and the man.
Yeah.
Right? Come out of jail, she's not there, my life's just carried on.
Yeah.
Right? And then, what was it, 20, 30 years after?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. That's a great love story.
It'd have been nice if they'd have told me.
Oh.
We could have had an house.
Yeah, 30 years later.
Wow.
But I said to Linda went, "How do you feel when you seen him?" This is when I seen him at the funeral, and I only spoke to him for about 15 minutes. And I went, "I can't get him out of my head's doing." And then I'm thinking that, and I thought, no, I'm not texting him nothing, I'm not saying now. Next thing he gets a text, "Was really nice seeing you today, wish I could have stayed longer." So then I'm on it then,
with 30 years worth of text.
Within 3 months, he was living with me.
Oh.
From me seeing him at the funeral to him moving into mine.
Fuck it, man, we ain't got time. We'll have to be carrying on with shit.
But I've gone through shit anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You know,
You know,
shocked me.
I wasn't in a good
Absolutely shocked me.
relationship. Right.
Because the man he was, years ago when I knew him, people was feared of him. You know, if Barrie, that's how, before I knew who he was, I knew who he was as soon as he walked in the pub. I went, that's that Barrie George, because the pub went, shh. Do you know what I mean? When he walked in like that with his big neck like that. Like that. And then he had a fight and nearly smashed the lad's head through the bar. And I thought, ooh.
He's all right.
Yeah, but dead cheeky, where are you from? He said to me. I went, I'm from Beswick, mate. He went, you're nice. I thought, oh, don't. That was
Barrie,
it.
I'm shocked, man.
What?
You've carry on behaviour when I thought you were nice. Yeah, I know you were Sam's nice cousin.
Yeah.
A lovable rogue, my mum used to say he was.
Yeah.
Diamond in the rough.
You know, we all have a life, don't we? We all have a history.
No, absolutely. They're dead interesting as well, aren't they?
I can honestly say I've not really done anybody any real harm. You know, I've had fights and that and bit people's ears off and things.
Bit people's ears off.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
And I was
Angel. He had, I ate niggers, you know this thing.
Oh.
I said, take that jacket off, man. I said, it offends me.
Where was you?
In the silver birch.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. I said, take the jacket off, it offends me. I wouldn't take it off. So we started fighting. It must have been the longest fight I've ever had. And I've suddenly heard, like, stabbing. Right. So I've gone like that and took his ear off and spit it back in his face. He was only off to hospital, wasn't he? Yeah.
So one of his mates was saying to him, stab you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been stabbed 6 times in my life. I ain't getting stabbed to 7
But like, you know, if there was a fight and all that.
I had no idea. I just
You know, there was a fight years ago, like with the girls and all that, because like I say, we was called the Dynasty Crew because we was all dressed with everything, because loads of our mates were shoplifters, so
yeah.
shoplifted everything we wore.
Yeah.
So we had every new fashion, and there was that many of us. When they had a fight, I was the one who held the bags because I wouldn't fight. I was absolutely terrified of someone touching me or hitting me, or because I'd never had a smack in my life.
Right.
And then I goes, you know what I mean? I stays at Linda's, and I told you all the kids and coats on the bed, and her dad come in kicking off, and he took his belt off to lash Linda. Linda jumped behind me, so he caught me with a buckle, but I was that shocked I couldn't even scream. It's a big blood blister. I mean, if it would have been now, it would have got done for it.
Yeah,
but I'd never been touched, mate. Do you know what I mean? And she's at it, Lord, you've done so, and all like, oh, I'm sorry, Bubbles, and all that. But that, I'd never been it, so I won't fight.
Yeah.
But then going through abuse of a marriage, then
when you've been brought up like that,
someone try and put their hand to me. I ended up, say, in my late 30s, early 40s, you couldn't look at me twice because I'd rip your head off. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought, I've had this all my life.
Yeah.
I don't care if he was a man or a woman.
Yeah.
You know, where before, Linda and Maggie and all them lot and Jean would fight, and I'd have you in the bags.
Yeah, I'll hold you back.
You go and fight, I'll hold you back. I used to be terrified, scared of my own shadow.
See, again, you know, you're saying, oh, I don't see you as being that sort of person. A lot of people made that misconception with me, right, and come unstuck. Right, I've been around going in the club,
quiet,
show, right, low. And I asked for a coat, this fella with, and the guy went like that. No, I said, I want the coat. Right. So is it me?
Is it you?
Yeah. So I said, you're joking. Right. So I snapped them. So I battered him. Right, but I formed a circle around him and I've jumped the circle to get him. And then the following week, you're not coming in, you've had. So I'm coming in. So I walked in. Right, from that day to this, he's always been a friend.
Yeah.
He thought I looked younger than I was.
Right.
You see. And again,
They can take lip balls.
it was a misconception. Right, and people have done that a lot in my life, you know. I thought, oh, right. But when I turned, right, they shocked. Right. I remember turning once at the airport when I was working there.
Yeah, because you've never been a loud person, have you?
I don't.
No, that exactly.
He's never been a loud person.
Well, it's like turning. I've never seen that, and he left. because he'd never seen, you know, me react that way. Right. It's just, I used to, not as much now, but when I was younger, I would, on a flip of a coin, you know, 2 minutes, there'd be a lot of damage done. But it's only 2 minutes of madness.
I can be like that.
Yeah. Just,
yeah. Again, like you're saying, now I've got older, I've got more control.
More chilled out.
More chilled out. But yeah, as a young person, definitely.
Oh,
the fuck do you mean?
Yeah. And it'd only take a word.
Yeah.
Because you know,
if I got called a bastard, right, that was a wrong thing to say to me. And I'd freak, you can call me anything, but once you said a bastard.
Why would bastard bother you?
It must, again, from my childhood, must have been because
he had a mum and dad, so
my mum and dad weren't married.
Oh, so it got. I mean, you being that bit older than us, illegitimate and bastard is bad.
Yeah.
It's bad when we're born, but not so bad as when you're born.
So it used to touch me.
Yeah.
Right, and I used to freak. Right, so people used to think I'm calling him that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But and that's what.
And it's weird what bothers you. You know that your mum and your dad weren't married, and you know it. And as a little kid, it's like. That's not.
I can't remember them getting married. I know they got married.
Did they?
Yeah, but I can't remember them getting married.
Mine were never married.
Yeah, they were married, but I can't remember them getting married. It's strange that I don't know where I was. Right, but there's a lot of things that I don't know. It's because of the drugs in my past and that I've lost lots of memories. Because in the 60s, I was going to the wheels. So I was taking bombers, green and clears, blueies, red and browns. I was taking all sorts, and it was like every day.
Was you just well? No wonder you was fucking kicking off like. Was you?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, really.
Wow, I'm dead. No. Speed smart. I don't like that.
And you know what, Linda? Like when Barrie knew me 30 years ago, I'll tell you, all my friends was all bad swearers, all of them. I never swore. I never smoked. I only started smoking 3 years ago.
Fuck off.
Never smoked in my life. Never smoked in my life. I've been around everybody who
That's
smoked.
proper weird.
Never. And I never used to swear. You never heard me swear.
I heard her
years
say
ago.
once, right, we got to see a wrestling bout, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
And she said to this wrestler, "You've got more mouth
than
a cow's got vagina."
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't swear.
So where did that come from?
Did the wrestler win or lose? Could it just be really fucked him up for the rest of the wrestling thinking, what
did she just say?
Yeah.
What did why are you so posh and calling it a vagina?
Yeah.
Because my dad, like when my mum took me to Bessick, like it was called Bradford then.
Yeah.
And my dad, he's well spoken, even when he speaks Trinidadian, he's well spoken. And he came down and I was only about 6.
Yeah.
She talks like a slut. He went, and I had to go to elocution lessons.
Never.
Oh yeah, didn't I?
Your dad was a
How did I used to speak?
Who did your dad think he was?
She's not speaking like that. She's not got no etiquette. She's not. I was 6. You can't. She's not. So in my school, that made me stand out because I taught.
Fucking hell, man!
I used to.
You might as well have just put a label on you. Yeah. This girl is not like any other.
Yeah, I taught posh. I taught like I lived in.
So why did he not take you out of Bessick to go and live in Oxford?
Because my mum wouldn't let him, and my nana. But you see, because I was in Cheshire all the time, I got that Cheshire twang. So at school, people were like, "Oh, right, posh," and I had every best shoes on. I had kickers when they very first come out.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? No, none of that. The kids had them. Everything was pristine with me, and it made me stick out again. So I was a target again.
So were you getting bullied as well?
Yeah.
Then? Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Remember a girl coming up to me saying, "I'm just going to whip you because I want to." I can remember saying that. You know,
I got bullied a lot.
Like I said, I wasn't a fighter though, me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I got in with Linda and Jean and all them, they fought for me.
Oh.
They wouldn't let no one near me, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They give me the bags and batter them if they had anything to do with me, you know what I mean? But
so what did they think about all your posh stuff if they got coats on the bed?
Yeah.
What did they think about all your
when Linda first come to my mum's masonette,
Yeah.
My mum had, it was brand new and it was underfloor heating.
Ooh.
So she lived in an house where they had a coal fire.
Okay.
And we had swish curtains and she was
Yeah.
absolutely obsessed with them. She used to stand doing that.
And they'd swish open
And we had
close.
a front loader washer.
Ooh.
Because my mum had money. So.
Because she'd have her wages and whatever your dad was
Yeah,
giving.
and we had a record player on shelves when Tommy Brogan and Danny. I had a record player there and 2 shelves with the speakers, top of the range. Then, so my house to everybody else's house was posh.
Yeah.
And then Linda used to run away from home all the time because her mum used to kick off and our mum sent the police to our house. Now we've got underfloor heating. So my mum's gone down the stairs, the police are the police are saying, is Linda Morgan here? So she goes, is Linda here, you? I went, no, she's under my bed. Right.
Boiling.
Right. Back burnt to death. Time my mum got back up and got in bed and went to sleep and I could get her out. Her back was burnt. She was under my bed like that with the underfloor heating. Oh, don't. Some of the stories that we could tell in there, it was funny. But I used to look at Tommy Brogan like he was an half-caste lad.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I always
thought,
because we didn't talk about your mum and dad. It was really weird then. You didn't talk about your mum and dad.
No, you didn't, did you?
So I always thought, he must be quarter caste Tommy. Mm-hmm. So that's how
Yeah.
It was years and years later that I knew Tommy was Irish. I didn't know Tommy was.
Well, the first time I saw Tommy, he come to our house with Brian, I think it was. And then, and he must have only been a kid. He must have been about 14 or something.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw him, and I thought he was mixed race.
Yeah, you would though.
Yeah.
Because if you like hair, that afro. Yeah. You had a top afro.
Yeah. You had a better one than me. Right.
I think Marcus Marcus and Tony Cole had 2 of the best afros.
Yeah, Tony's was loose, like a bit like my hair, like my Jermaine's hair is actually. Yeah. And Ozzy had a top afro though. You couldn't touch Ozzy's afro, we'd go mental.
You couldn't touch mine, honestly. But I had a ginger afro.
Oh no, yeah.
Right. But Joey Jasper had a good afro.
Right.
Yeah.
But you couldn't touch it, you spend hours patting it down and getting it just right and the right shape.
Yeah.
And if anybody touched it, I used to go mad.
Yeah.
Don't touch the hair. And then if it rained, you'd go.
Oh, yeah, rain or really sweating. Really sweating and and you go, oh no.
You feel that, haven't you?
Yeah.
But,
yeah, we weren't into really afros. We used to put Carmen rollers in, to soften it up. But same thing would happen.
Well, I used to cut my hair.
The wet or whatever.
I cut my hair short and I used to put, when I went to bed, I used to put sellotape around there so my curls won't come up. I used to like my hair dead straight.
Yeah, Penny was like that with me. She read somewhere about how to straighten hair.
Yeah.
Right. I must have been about 11, 12. Right. Come on now, Baz. What? Can you straighten your hair? So she's daubed it in Vaseline.
Yeah.
Not Vaseline, Brill cream.
Yeah.
Right. Put a comb.
Oh no, not a hot comb.
Like they used to. I remember Peggy doing that, yeah.
Right. Run it through. Oh, I can smell his singed hair.
Yeah. With grease on.
But it never went straight.
Oh, that used to kill me not having straight hair. Honestly, God, it used to kill me.
I know, because people used to say to me, because when my
loose hair, not necessarily
when my hair's wet, it's just big curls in it. When it's long, it's just big corkscrew. Now my Jermaine, my lad, he's got the same hair as me, so he had the afro, because he's 76, he was born.
Yeah.
So he had his little afro, then it was bigger. So I thought, right, because I've never, I blew it straight, but like, I got a picture of me look like I don't know what. I thought, you cruel bug, I'm blowing his hair.
I traumatised my eldest two with the afros.
Why?
Right. Because I used to pick their hair, for it to school. Pick it out and get it all shaved. And they've always remembered it. Right, I'll never have an afro again. Come here. And
you black, be proud.
Yeah, but they've all my kids have got African names.
Right,
they've got to have, yeah. They've got to have. Because my dad gave Yvonne and Vinny their names. I gave Danielle, Whitney, Barrie their names, and I give Donna her name when I found Donna. Because I didn't find Donna until she was 26, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
Right. So we get on, right? And so I give her an African name. Right. But because they're so light skinned, they're all light skinned.
Yeah.
I want them to know where the roots are.
Yeah.
Right. You know, my grandchildren have African names, haven't they?
Yeah, but this is what I find weird about his generation, because, you know, like when we was around Aussie and all them, we knew the dads was African, but they never spoke about nothing like that. The only time I knew that all them had an African name is when we went to the magistrate court and they was all up at court. Paul Babatunde Khaled and Tony Tunde something blah 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 and we're at it. What?
Yeah.
You know, they never spoke about none of that. Do you know what I mean? They're African, even though the dad was African. They never like used it. That our generation didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then there's another shift after that, where you get like Paul Collins, who then purposefully go and start looking. Yeah.
Well, we didn't have to look far because, like I said, our dads, right, were African. I have my Uncle Rufai, right, and we lived with them.
Yeah.
Right, so I've seen Africans all the time. Right.
But you seem to have your generation seems to be different for that, Barrie.
Yes, because we're first generation.
Because by the time it comes down to, say, my age group and slightly older than me, the dads are shagging the white women and fucking off, it seems. Yeah. It seems like your generation are coming and being with them.
Yeah, it's like Ganyu in the Reno.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the next spot.
Nobody ever seen his missus, Monica's mum. She never was allowed out.
Yeah.
She was white. But in the Reno, Ganyu would laugh with us. You know what I mean? If I knocked on Monica's door, he wouldn't even speak to you, or he was horrible in the house. But if he was in the Reno on his own, but you was scared of him, do you know, because he was that thing, like, used to call him Mr. Ashola, but in the Reno, I could call him Ganyu. But if you went to her house, he was horrible. But in the Reno, he was all right.
Yeah.
Like the Bullers, Mr. Buller, I've never called Mr. Buller you.
Yeah.
I've always called him Mr. Buller. Because that's how when my dad used to take me around, Mr. Williams, Mr. Culpepper. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It was always Mr.
It was always Mr. or somebody, because we couldn't call them by the first name.
We couldn't.
But our generation didn't seem to go on. I've noticed as they've got older, they do about the roots. But when we was just all English, we was all that. They'd fight with the white lads, the Arcas lads, but it wasn't a big deal of. But when that Bellevue riot first went, that is the first riot I've ever seen.
What year would you say that was, Louise?
Well, it was before I had Jermaine in 76, so it must have been about 74.
Right.
74, 75, and it was the blacks versus the whites, and all them used to go in the Bavarian beer keller in the Zooby
Oh, the Bavarian beer keller.
And that's where Steve got his scar. Steve Moores got his scar because he got bottled outside because he used to have a big lollipop afro. He used to have one, and there was a guy there called Paul Chad. He was a doorman there, and he had a big afro, but he was like Barry's age, so we all looked up to him. But Paul was like, he won't like a half-caste lad who we knew. You never seen him on my side. Yeah. You all seen him, you know what I mean? He was always with white people. You never seen him.
Yeah, that's another type of older
Yeah.
half-caste guy as well, from your generation and slightly older. There's some that are white guys.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
Yeah.
There's some that really follow. And when you get to ours, though, we become half-caste.
Yeah.
But it must be like you said, because you set the road.
Yeah. We were half-caste, and you know, I never heard the word mixed race until I was about 30.
Oh, I didn't. I used to get called breed all the time.
I was about 40 when I think when I first did mixed race.
But like I said, half-caste, for me, I was proud to be half-caste. Right? Well, going back to sort of our generation, I remember my dad, right, and we went to Liverpool, and it was Ebo Day.
Okay.
Right, which was Boxing Day.
Right.
And we've gone to his cousins in Liverpool. So walked in, he's got the bit of cola nut out. Right. So we chopped the bit of cola nut out. Right. And it's me, my dad, our Christine, our Dave, right, and his sons. But our Dave was the youngest. So he's passed the plate to our Dave. Now our Dave's got to go down in order of the eldest down.
Okay.
Right. And offer the bit of cola nut, which is like a ceremony. And before he can take his, so while at ours, and he's the youngest one, so he takes his last. Right. And gives it back. And that's how we were brought up, with the African tradition of respecting your elders. That's what it's about. Right. So we knew we were African from that and other things that it'd say and do,
yeah, because they're still doing the tradition. It's part of you.
He came over. I was born in 49. He finally settled in Manchester in 1951, in 52, right? So it's been with Africans all that time, right? Now, it's not suddenly going to get off the boat and become anglicised.
No.
Right. So
they never did really,
no,
I don't
but he's still in Africa. He's still got his African ways, right? African food. I never saw him eat English food until it must have been in the 70s.
My dad would have the odd chips on occasion.
My dad would.
The odd chips on
He wouldn't even have
occasion.
potato. My dad used to do his fufu and curry. He'd boil his pig's feet and his breast of lamb on a Saturday, make the soup, and that lasted him all week. But we'd sit there on a Saturday night like that, and it took hours for this pig's feet to cook. Right. We'd be like that, falling asleep, but not going to go to sleep till it's done. He'd do it, and then he'd make his fufu, and we'd sit round the table, and he'd give us the bowls of fufu when we were younger.
Oh.
And we'd have that. Right. As we got older, right, we sat at the table with him and ate it with him, of the same bowl of fufu. Right. And we all did that. My children have ate fufu, right? And they all like it on occasion, not all the time. I eat it, you don't like it, do you?
No, I don't.
But some days I think, I'm going to go African.
No, sometimes I love green bananas in yam and shit.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Sometimes.
I can cook really good Jamaican food, considering I didn't get brought up with it.
Yeah.
I can cook it.
Like, no, I can't. I can't be bothered. It's too
peas and rice and that.
No, I can't. I can do, but I can do cabbage and ribs because my mum's Irish. I can do them good. Yeah.
Well, that is strange to me because a lot of our mothers are from Irish descent.
Yeah.
Right. My mum's dad was Irish. Our aunt's mum was the same dad. He's Irish. Right. Loads of mixed race guys that I know, half-caste guys that I know, right, have Irish in their blood.
Yeah. Because I think they've got really similar ways. Jamaicans and Irish have got really similar ways. Yeah. Their wakes and loads of things is dead similar. Yeah. Their sense of humour, the way they call things what they are. Yeah. It's dead. Because, even though Irish people are white, if you go to Ireland, they're nothing like English people.
I know.
The pubs, nothing feels like England. No.
Well, they used to get quite a few Irish people in Reno, usually are falling about. Start the building site bang.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my son the other day because he'd been watching, I was showing him my videos and that. And he went, Mum, well, I can say I'm 40. So I'm one of the 76 kids. Loads of us got pregnant on the same year as well. And he said, when I went to secondary school, there was loads of black kids. He said, so our generation didn't see that until we got to 18 and started clubbing it. And then the white guys wanted to batter us because the white girls wanted to go out with us. So he said, we got a just different kind of prejudice.
Yeah, no, always, they're all of them are. Yeah. It's just fucking mad that there's any such thing, really, but they're all kind of got their own little movement on them, haven't they?
Yeah. I've had people come up to me, because I used to be a landlady. I used to have my own pub. Yeah. And I've had people come up to me saying, I really like you, Bubbles, but I wouldn't like my daughter to be with one. to my face.
But that
To my
happens a lot, doesn't it?
face.
Right.
I really like you, and you know, you're welcome in my house anytime, but I wouldn't like my daughter to be one.
Yeah.
And I'd go, well, what about my kids? They're black. I've got 2 black kids, boys. What do you mean? But they wouldn't think nothing of saying that. They'd say it just like a matter of fact.
But the cheek of it, though.
Yeah.
I've heard that said so many times, you know.
The cheek of it, and
you can't even explain the
the
underneath.
logic behind it.
No, not even that. You can't even explain the cheek of it. I can't make you understand what I mean about the cheek of it.
I know.
Well,
Do you know what I mean? It's
I've
like,
heard fellas like, you know, I don't mind blacks, right? But I won't let my daughter marry one.
Yeah.
Yes, you do mind blacks then. Do you know what you're saying?
Yeah,
do you understand what you're saying?
They sort of split. You know, and I have dealt with a lot of white people in the pub game, and you know, some of my really good friends, and I've heard him get drunk and I'll lay nigger and I think, wait a minute, and I'll go and pull them and I'll have it with them. A few of them I fell out with, but then they're baffled why I'm going on, because to them, because they're not seeing me dad stood at the side of me, or
yeah,
a black man stood at the side of me. I'm Bubbles and I'm English and I'm me. They don't see this colour. And I think, well, you're still not going to disrespect my dad. On the same rule, when I used to hear Jamaican girls going on about white women, that's my mum.
No,
I'm
that's
half
true
white.
as well. No,
Because
exactly.
we used to get loads of that about my mum with them black girls.
No, well,
Loads of
yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Saying our mums were slags and that in the Russell.
Yeah,
Them black girls.
The Russell was really prejudiced,
Wasn't it,
actually.
really?
Really.
It was
because it was meant for them posher type.
Yeah.
You know, like in the Reno, you're more weird
Yeah,
who we
yeah.
are. But in there, they had aspirations, and
Yeah.
it's full of them black
Wasn't it?
girls.
They
Actually,
didn't like us breeds once.
No.
And you know what I mean?
I
White
forgot
trash
about
and
that,
all
yeah.
that. I'd go, my mum's what are you talking about? You know, but on the 2 scales, it was sad. But even today now, older people who are like older than me now, who knew me mum and knew me nana and all that, I know underneath, if my son would have gone out with their daughter or granddaughter, they wouldn't have been out there.
That's
Even
mental.
though-
Even till today.
Yeah, even till today.
That's fucking mental.
It's like, yeah, even till today. You know, I just think, why? I don't understand it. I really don't.
I suppose
understand it.
you associate black lads with crime, don't you? The way the
Yeah.
world is taught and the way everything you see, you associate black lads with crime, baby mothers.
Yeah,
Do you
but
know-
in
do
our
you know what I
generation,
mean? I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying that's the way
It
it's
wasn't
been
as bad as
fed.
it
It wasn't,
is
I suppose,
now,
yeah.
then, was it? I mean, in our generation, even though like they used to get in a bit of trouble, they weren't in big trouble, they weren't doing bad things.
No, it's true.
None of them was big drug dealers or out like that.
I remember that changing, Lorraine,
Yeah,
to
I
the gun
check-
culture
yeah,
and everything.
Yeah, and more side changing
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Where we've walked them streets for years
Yeah.
and scared. It like someone, I went to that, was it called the Spinners?
Oh, yeah.
In Moss Side,
Yeah,
where Andy got killed.
yeah, yeah.
I went in there and it's the first pub I've been in, Barrie, where I felt scared.
No, it's true.
Before he got shot,
The other one I used to feel scared in was the Iron Duke, but go on.
Yeah, but we drove in there and just the vibe, there
Yeah.
was Eddie Duck, there was... and I
Yeah,
went,
it was
Linda,
of
I
that
said-
time.
I said, let's go gallery. I don't want to stay in here. I don't want to stay in here. I didn't feel... And I loved going in my side. Used to be in the Western. I loved it in the Western. Felt safe in the Western. But once that started to change like that,
It was,
we all stopped going down there, didn't we?
yeah,
Like,
drugs and guns.
and Carnival, we all met up in the Western at Carnival. We was all in there after the Carnival, the big Western.
Yeah,
Every creed and colour was in there. Irish, black,
yeah.
African, Jamaican, you name it, it was in there.
I think it started to change the middle 80s, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah. About 83, 84, I think, it started
yeah.
going.
After the riots.
After the riots and all that, yeah. Yeah, it did. Because we went in The Millionaire and
Oh, yeah, the Millionaire.
we went in The Millionaire to see Steve Menzies singing. and we was all in there. Now, we've known the Cheetah Millers. The Cheetah Millers,
all that.
the Cheetah Millers used to come in my side, and we used to go to Banjo, so there was nothing between them. And I've got a lad who I've known from Cheetah Mill for ages pushing me out the door, literally pushing me. I'm going, what are you doing? Me and Linda, the next thing, the place got shut up, and I've never been so scared in my life. I thought, oh my God, and you're shooting people who chill together.
Wow.
And like our kids, their dads all was like that, but the kids, it's Moss Side, it's Longside, it's Cheetah Mill, and I thought, what's up with him? Why they like that? And then the way it spoilt the carnival when they did all that.
No, true. I never really went proper after that.
I didn't go to the carnival until I went with him last year.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah.
No, I didn't go for years. I was scared. I thought, no.
And it's not even just that I'm scared as well. It's not just that you're scared. It's just that it's not there. That whole thing that we felt with each other was gone.
Yeah. And when your own kids start going on town and they're going out, and like, say, Jermaine had got trouble or whatever, and he'd come back and he'd go, such and such, but and I'd go, wait, I know his mum and dad. What do you mean he's giving you trouble? Then I'd be on my phone then trying to get their number. You better tell your kid to get a grip. Do you know what I mean? Having a go at my son.
Because my daughter's 36, so it must be scary to have younger lads, you know.
Yeah, because my Jermaine's 40.
And
the other one is 35 on Saturday. Gary. But Gary never was one for going out, so I never had the fear with Gary. He was football mad and everything. Jermaine's always been, he's a good looking lad, modelling, on town, poser, womaniser, you name it. He was
his granddad.
Yeah, he wanted to be everywhere where everything was going on, so it was a fear for him.
Yeah.
But when I was finding out that the grandsons or the sons of people I've grown up with close, one of them literally threatened to shoot my son. I was absolutely going off my head. I had to come to Moss Side, find his mum and dad, and literally, and he was face to my face, you know. And I went, I'm telling you now in front of your mum and dad, do you know what I mean? I will put a gun in your mouth, me, and I won't send no one for you. Believe me, if my kids touch. And that's how it got you. And I didn't want Jermaine to go out. Then he started travelling the world and I was delighted. Let him live in Dubai and get him out of it. Do you know what I mean? But I couldn't believe that the way we was and then that generation was.
So are you talking about when he's around 20?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it was proper horrible.
Horrible.
It was proper horrible.
It was. It was fearful for kids.
Yeah.
And
we'd grown out of that by then.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, but like you in Withenshaw, you knew people, didn't you, whose kids was bad. The kid doing, thinking...
Yeah, there was a moment in time when it was just great to be bad without bad. You know, we was a bit bad and did bad noise.
But you had this gangster culture.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I said to him the other day, it come on the telly with the Black History thing. It was 25 years ago where that Boys of the Hood come out.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe it was 25 years ago. But when all that started coming on the telly, they all thought there was...
Oh, no, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
I never put two and two together.
Yeah, well, they all started acting like that. The jeans down here, you know what I mean?
And back to what you're saying, Barrie, sorry, but we're back to role models.
Yeah.
Because if that's who you're putting up, you know, like there's no role models of your dad's not a role model.
No.
Well, he's a bit of a womanizer, but he's a golfer.
Yeah.
Professor. Do you know what I mean? Our role models are gangsters.
Yeah.
Or, do you know?
Yeah,
go
because
on.
it's Americanized, isn't it? Again.
Yeah.
Again. And I think the things that came over, because we didn't get a lot of television growing up.
We were played out a lot.
Right. Well, we didn't get a television in the house until
we was out.
We moved to Withenshaw.
We knew how to play, didn't we?
Right. So we were out all the time. Didn't get the influence from America. Right. The only thing I can remember coming over from America was on the cinema, which was a Lone Ranger or Zorro.
Bonanza.
Right.
I remember Bonanza.
And I remember the pop shows at the time. You know, Ready, Steady, Go and that.
Oh,
when you saw American artists.
Yeah.
Right? So that's probably our aspirations, to be
dressed
like them, dance like them.
We like the Jackson 5 and all that, didn't we?
Absolutely.
So that's where our American
influences come from. But
Prince.
But I think because
then the gangster culture came in from
No, you're
America.
right.
It's all the gangster shows, right? So that's happened.
yeah, that's what I said. I couldn't believe that was 25 years ago. What is it? 25 years ago. It was on. But from we coming through what we was coming through, even though we knew about prejudice and we all went through our bits, it never got seen on the television of prejudice. Then, out of nowhere, they go and put Roots on the telly. They went mental. They absolutely went mental. And I said, I wouldn't be surprised if that sparked them riots off, because they went off their heads.
When was Roots first put on the
Before the riots. It started, the first part of that was before them riots.
In the 70s.
No, 80s it was.
No,
When
was
the
it about 76, 77?
Yeah, but they went mental then about white people who mixed with white people and never bothered. Them was going mad.
It hurt me.
Yeah, it hurt.
I remember, I don't know what...
But we'd not been educated like that in school, had we?
I think
No.
We never heard nothing, did we?
I think
No,
it
it
was
hurt me.
It was Black Panthers for us in our generation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I loved the Black Panthers. I thought they were so cool,
We
man.
started to dress with them, honestly.
No,
I worked on the
exactly,
railway
you
at
have
the
to
time.
dress like them.
I worked on the railway at the time. And I must have only been 18 again, 17, 18. Right. Yeah, about 18. I think that's 17. I used to have a black beret
Oh, yeah.
and the one glove.
Yeah.
But I used to work with a lot of Jamaicans. They say, tell me you stood up for yourself. Black power. I remember the superintendent calling me in the office. Take that glove off and get that beret off. You're going to find yourself in serious trouble. I'd be winding up, come on. Right. But the superintendent was white.
Yeah.
Inspector. Right. But that's how I was just fixated on black power.
Oh, I loved Black Power. I loved the Black Panthers and that.
I had white friends at that particular time, right? And they were sat in the house and the door would go. And they'd say, door. I'd say, who is it? Right, what colour is he? If he was black, he could come in. If he was white, he'd stand at the door.
Wow, you
But
went
that's
that
how
far?
Yeah, that's how it got me.
Yeah, but
Right.
Roots did hurt me.
Because
really.
we'd never seen anybody stand up like that. That
It's
was
different for a
in the
man than a
Olympic
woman.
Games,
Yeah.
when they did that in the Olympic
Oh, I'll
Games,
never forget
Yeah.
that.
that was
Yeah.
it was a magic moment.
Yeah.
It really
Mm.
was a magic moment. So then, like, I've got to get a beret.
Mm.
Right? I've got to get the black glove. Right? And I did. And not just me, there was loads. So
But when that
berets and
Roots
black
was on,
gloves.
I went delving then about
I
black side
did.
of
I did. I started reading loads of
reading
different
it
slave
and
things.
thinking how horrible that they got that done to them, ancestors of ancestors, and it educated me, even though it hurt me, it did educate me.
Me too, Lorraine. But also, we are direct descendants of slaves because
Yeah.
there's no reason for a black man to be in the Caribbean
Yeah.
other
You
than
are.
to be a slave.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You are.
Yeah.
100%, yeah. Yeah.
But when I saw that Black Panther, I started reading about the Soledad Brothers,
Yeah.
Angela Davis.
Yeah.
Right. Got right into it.
I was
Right.
obsessed with Martin Luther
Yeah.
King. Obsessed, I was. Everything I wanted to know about him and everything.
It's weird, isn't it, how you... Yeah.
Where-
I've just done a spell like that
where
for a few
younger-
years, you know.
Younger, I
like,
didn't
yeah.
even want to know where my dad's country was on a map. Never mind where he come from. I didn't care. He was my dad, and that's all
Yeah.
he was.
Well, I think for you two it's a little bit different, isn't it? Because your descendants descended from slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's a little bit different, isn't it, in a way, because you need to know where your ancestors come
Yeah.
from. I know where my ancestors come from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is that as well,
Yeah.
you know.
You know, which part of Africa did your forebears come from? Which part of Africa did your forebears come
No
from?
My
fucking
dad knew.
idea.
You know,
Yeah, my dad
No.
knew
Will
where
he-
he's come from.
You know,
But then I've got Cherokee
yeah, but
because his mum
further
was
back,
Cherokee.
you know, your roots are somewhere in Africa, right? That is South Africa, Middle Africa, West Africa, you know, Congo, and a lot of them were shipped from West Africa.
Yeah.
So your parentage could be Nigerian, yours could be Nigerian, Hausa, right? Ebo, you don't know, do you? And that's where you need to be tracing back your history. Right? You know, I can trace mine back to my dad being an Ebo and where he lived.
Yeah.
You know, Anne can trace her dad back to being Yoruba and where he lived. You know, but, you know, where do you trace your backness from?
I've never even thought about it. I went to Jamaica in 1974 and I'd walked back into slavery. No electric, no running water, no whatever, cooking on rocks outside. But I loved it.
Yeah.
For about 3 days I cried, you know, no electric, no thinking. But once I got used to it,
you felt at home.
Loved it.
But wouldn't you like to know?
I've never thought about it.
Where your ethnicity comes from?
No, do you know what? But this is a super prejudice that I didn't know that I was harbouring. I kind of like being Jamaican. I don't want to be African.
Yeah.
You know, that sounds ridiculous, but I don't.
But you are.
I know I must be.
Fundamentally, you are.
Yeah.
You are.
But apparently, I don't know, aren't we all Africans though?
Well, that's what they say, don't they?
Yeah, that we're all descended from Africa.
Humanoid race come out of Central Africa.
Yeah, that's on a different level.
Different level, yeah.
Because if I was, you know, you two, I'd love to know where.
I wouldn't even know how to set about it, but I suppose that I believe they had great records of the slaves because of the sales and stuff like that.
Especially in Trinidad and that.
Yeah.
If you did.
Yeah, well, that's why you ship from here, wasn't it? From West Africa to here, from here to Trinidad.
Yeah.
Right, for the sugar and cotton.
Because that's where my dad's family had the fishing port.
That'd be so painful to really trace them back and really, really know the slaves, because it's just an idea to me now. You know, to really be reading.
No.
Yeah.
Too deep for me, that.
Yeah, possibly for me too.
Me, not yet, anyway.
Yeah, no, possibly. You know, like that they were sold for, name was thinking he was sold for £3. I don't know. It just seems too fucking far.
Yeah, too far back, isn't it?
Yeah, too far in the emotions as well.
And my mum's mum was born in Strangeways Prison. Her dad was a governor.
Wow.
I laugh me because when times I've gone in there to see the lads, I thought my great grandfather would be turning in his grave. That I am walking in here. There's a big picture of him with a curly tash like that, you know, in the thing.
On the centre.
Because she used to sit on pier points and he used to hang him. My nana, she got brought up in that house. She was born there. My mum's mum.
Wow, that's proper weird.
Yeah, I think Strangeways Prison. I think when you're half-caste like that, you've got that many branches coming off you on either side.
Yeah.
That it can just get
messy.
It can get messy because you think, oh. Because I've traced my nana back.
Yeah.
My mum's mum.
Yeah.
That's how I know about the prison, and I knew all about her and where they come from. And her dad was Irish though, even though he was a governor. So then you look on the Irish side, and I think, I got that fed up. I thought, I'm getting mixed up here. I can't be dealing with it all now.
Well, our aunt's done some.
She's done some lovely stuff on her dad.
Oh yeah, she's done some digging.
I can't get that far back with my dad because there was no record of his birth, right? And it was all by word of mouth.
Yeah.
Right. So, and his dad had 3 wives, and my dad was the youngest of the 3rd wife. Right. My dad never couldn't read or write.
I've got no blue roll. I've got to find blue roll. Yeah.
Right. My dad couldn't read
on my way back before.
So he couldn't write anything down to tell us.
Oh, my dad couldn't read or write.
Because his mother took him out of school. Because the teacher caned him.
To your left, Lorraine.
Right, so he took him out of school. And
okay.
Right. And then his father died. And his dad was sent to his mother's village because he'd become unruly. He was always fighting, my dad, as a youngster. Right, so they sent him to his mother's village to be raised there.
Right.
Right. So that's as far back as I can go.
Right.
I've had letters of cousins and uncles. Right. But I've never been over, so I don't know. My day's been over with my dad. Right. But it's it's hard to go in. It's hard to get in there.
Fine, looking
Because
for
if
yeah.
you need to go and call names out when you go
Yeah.
to the village, so they know you're genuine.
Right.
Right. So we go back on my mum's side, the Irish side. Go back to me dad, it's like bang. Where'd you go from there? You know, his dad, his dad's dad, his dad's dad. Right. Everything's by word of mouth. Nothing's written down.
Yeah.
So you can't
An
trace it
oral
because
history.
once they die,
Yeah.
right? You know, unless you're actually in that village talking to their children.
You just have to spend a lot of time talking.
Yeah.
You'd find it out, but that's what you'd have to do, is you'd have to spend a lot of time talking to their children and then the extended family.
Yeah.
And then the different villages, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because there's two villages, don't forget. You know, it's his father's village and his mother's village.
Yeah, true enough, there's that as well.
Right. You know, so it's a nightmare.
Wow.
It's like my uncle Rufai came from a town, Lagos. Right, my dad came from a village.
It's good that you know who your dad is, though, because
Oh,
lots of our caste people don't even know who their dads are, do they?
I certainly know my dad.
Yeah.
And he was just a gentleman. And I remember, this is more about my map, when I first started going down to the Reno. And I was come out the Reno, I was walking past the bus depot, right, and Christine and Mum were on the bus going up to Windshaw. And Christine said, "Oh, there's our Barrie." My mum like, "Don't wave to him, don't wave to him." So I said, "Why have you seen the pants he's got on?" I had trackboard check hipsters, that's how far back it is. Right, trackboard check hipsters.
Yeah. Don't wave to him, look at his pants.
So when was that? That must have been mid-60s.
Yeah.
Hipsters, them days.
Well, I always wanted to be like a teenager in the 60s. I thought it was dead
fantastic.
cool. I was only a kid in the 60s.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, but I thought, oh, the 60s look well cool.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot from the 60s as it happened. Right.
Would you speeding? Would you speed?
Yeah, because you do the all-nighters,
Mm.
right, at the wheel. Then you go to the Bluemoose or Roundtrees or Mr. Brown's, right, or the wheel in Blackpool. I finished up in Wales after one all-nighter for 3 days, right? You know, just whizzing and just finished up anywhere, right? You didn't know where you were going to be. And like, we lived in Cheetham Hill at the time, so we'd have people around the house and you sat on a bed and like there's 4 people on the bed having 4 different conversations because they're all whizzing. Right?
I've never talked to
Oh.
Have you not?
Well, that's another one. Because the house I rented, or the room I rented, belonged to her uncle.
Oh, where is that?
Yeah.
Right?
Back
I
in the
didn't know.
60s.
He was a wrestler, Jack Cassidy.
And
Wow.
he used to own the house where he had a room.
Yeah. But again, he took me under his wing. He looked after me. You know, I used to rob his gas meter all the time.
And he knew?
And he said, "I know you're doing it, I just don't know how you're doing it." Right?
Your Uncle Jack was alright though, wasn't
You know, and then the police come one day and raided it. Right? Took me to Bootle Street. Right? He's gone in the room and took everything out. Right? So when the police have come back, there's nothing there.
Just Jack's cleared it off.
Jack's cleared it all. That's let me go. Right? He's amazing, man. Right?
Wow.
But
His name rings a bell. Why does his
Cowboy
name?
Jack Cassidy.
Cowboy
was a
Jack
wrestler.
Cassidy was a professional wrestler. Proper. With Billy Two Rivers and all that lot. And Mickey Francis's dad.
Yeah. But I was only 17
Francis,
again.
is it their dad was a wrestler?
You know, going back to the Reno, I don't honestly say I can remember a lot about the Reno because most of the time I went in, I was either stoned, whizzing, or on LSD.
I remember when I went in
But I
banjos.
was never drunk.
Yeah.
Never drunk.
I never really looked at Phil as African and that, and you know, like I say, I didn't bother about it. But when I went to banjos, and there was their banjo come at it, I know your father. He used to ride a sidecar down Cheetham Hill Road. And I'm like, oh God.